And I specifically say Black women because, like, we're usually the backbone of everything. You know, not even just with our families, but with our friend circles. Like, it's always something for us to do. We're always taking care of somebody else.
Yeah, I'm used to this, I'm used to that. I want some money. Give me some money. They get the money.
Because here's the problem. Here's the problem with modern marriage from a man's perspective, as far as I'm concerned. Most of the marriages I know, okay, the man provides financially. He protects, right? He, you know, he's also there to be part of the family dynamic, taking care of kids, doing the things that he can do. What does the woman bring? She brings love, affection, a little bit of sweetness at the end of the day, you know, sex. She brings, you know, taking care of kids. Okay. If you get divorced.
What about what the man's used to? What about what the man's accustomed to?
Every single thing on that side of the man equation, he can be compelled to do by the power of the state, and if he fails to do it, they can put him in jail. Nothing on that other side, the female side, is enforceable at law.
Yeah, check this out. You know, I'm accustomed to her 4 times a week.
I don't think it can be argued that we are in a very unique position in the West these days, not only because of the economy, but because of the way that we've ripped up pretty much all of the traditions that we used to have. So we do this selective traditional thing where we want men to be traditional when it benefits other people. But we rarely tell men, especially Black men, that they can be selective and say what they want. Usually we get this kind of messaging.
You can't call yourself a man if you're not paying for everything. Yes, you pay for the date. You pay for the trip. You pay for her to eat. You pay for her nails. You pay for her hair. And the men that don't like to hear that are not men. I don't know what you want me. How can you be masculine if you're not providing?
That's the message, right? Now, that's a message that fit very well in the 1950s. But there was a movement for the Equal Rights Amendment before I was even born. So the idea that we're going to pretend that the last 60 years of feminism didn't happen and that men should just protect and provide the same way that men used to is basically just selective history. It continues.
So when a man has that ability to pay his own bills with the woman there, he should be, you know, he should be celebrating himself as a man. That gives him a man's confidence. For the woman, if he's paying the bills and she's just stacking, right, it gives her the ability to save her money, whatever, do what she wants, gives her financial freedom. And it also does a great thing for him because now he can really see how much she loves him.
Black men especially need to change that. Because we already said that we don't have standards. We don't have a sense of self-worth. And I believe that, because if you had a sense of self-worth, you wouldn't give it away. A rich man, a wealthy man, will give his money before he gives his time. Because his time and attention is worth way more than a few dollars that he can give a prostitute or a hooker or an escort. And you need to value your time and what you bring to the table just as much as she does. Stop giving away your time and attention for free. Like the lady says, there's 2 ways for a woman to pay a man: with what's between her legs and what's between her wallet. And what does she say? You have to make them decide, and you have to make them be consistent. If a woman is not reimbursing you for your time and attention, that's before anything else. If she's not rewarding you for your time and attention, you need to go check out another woman.
If he's paying the bills and she's just stacking, right, it gives her the ability to save her money, whatever, do what she wants, gives her financial freedom. And it also does a great thing for him because now he can really see how much she loves him. Because if he let her stay there for a year or two, she stack her money, not pay a dime, and then she bounced, she was never for him in the first place. Mm-hmm. You know, if he lets her stay with him for 2 years, and then she turns around and say, hey, babe, you know, I saved $10,000, $20,000 in these 2 years. What can we do now to take this money that you helped me to save and now make more money out of it? Now they know they're a good couple.
You can hear the hole in his argument from the beginning. He's assuming that everyone is operating honorably and that a young lady, if she has the opportunity to stack her money, she's going to do right by the man that's helping her get ahead, if you will. And also, he's not even mentioning the fact that she has any complicit roles or any duties to that man while he's helping her stack money. It's just that the man is supposed to be used essentially for his resources, his time, his energy. And if you don't want that, then you're not a man. Well, this is not 1960, and it's not young ladies that have not had any interactions with a man. Many of these young ladies have had dozens, if not hundreds, of interactions with other men who not allowed this. And so when you say a real man is supposed to do this, it's starting to fall on deaf ears, and black men are evolving.
Men need to date within their tax bracket and stop getting mad that the woman they want has high standards. You don't walk into a luxury store and get mad that the prices are high. You can either build up your money and wait to buy what you want or shop where you can afford. Dating works the same way. A woman with high standards makes insecure men feel uncomfortable, not because they're asking for too much, but because she reminds them of what they haven't built yet.
But when I go to the luxury store, all the items on the shelf are new. These be used. They've been worn by several different people in several different states, countries, area codes, and been washed over several times, and with still remnants of the last. So actuality, we're not going to the luxury store to get the luxury item. We're going to the Salvation Army to get some secondhand shit, and that's well within our budget. I think that you missed that part because you thinking that you're selling new items that no one's tried or no one's used or no one's smutted out. No, these are hand-me-downs at the very least. And last time I checked, hand-me-downs and Salvation Army was an extremely discounted price that most men can afford. So I see where you were trying to go with that, but you missed the part with the 30, 40 that have worn them shoes. And nobody likes another stanky feet in a pair of shoes. And you get the gist. You're going to get athlete's foot. That ugly money.
If I took you out to eat 10 times and you never offered to pay, I wouldn't be dating you. Fired. Because that's the most politest you're going to be. Correct. It's not the fact that you got to pay. It's just me knowing that you would pay. It's just the gesture. So he said he wouldn't be dating a woman that never offered to pay.
There's two ways for a woman to pay a man: with what's between her legs and what's between her wallet. And what does she say? You have to make them decide, and you have to make them be consistent.
That's the psychology of, man, just because she offered, you ain't got to never worry about it.
What kind of woman you looking for, Dallas?
A humble, realistic woman.
Realistic woman.
Yeah, one that's not delusional and got them fairy tale expectations.
Of course, we all know that R&B and black music has had a particular effect on us as well as our programming, because when you think of begging, you think of... Generally, we're used to seeing men be the beggars and not be the choosers in our community. But as the prize has changed and maybe more and more men don't see the idea of getting a relationship with a young lady that maybe has a plethora of tattoos, or maybe has waited until her late 30s or her 40s to get serious about marriage, or maybe she has children already, maybe that just doesn't garner the same please, 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 please that it used to. Hence, men are evolving.
A humble, realistic woman.
Yeah, one that's not delusional and got them fairy tale expectations.
The fairy tale what?
Expectations.
What are some fairy tale expectations?
You know the popular thing now. Women want you to be a provider and pay all the bills and. Come on, man. Let's keep it real. Everybody out here trying to make it. You know what I'm saying?
Okay,
two heads is better than one.
Okay, does she gotta look a certain way?
I mean, I got to be able to turn around in the bed and be able to stand and look at her.
You gotta be able to stand and look at her.
Yeah.
What about money? Does she gotta make a certain amount of money?
As long as she ain't asking me for nothing, I don't care what she made.
So she can't ask. She can't ask. She can't ask you for no money.
That's all I'm saying. Long she paying for her bills, her own bills and stuff. I don't care what she made. You know what I'm saying?
So she needed you to hit her off with some money for her mortgage or rent. That's not what you do.
That ain't what I do. If we ain't staying in the same crib, or if we ain't got the crib in both our names, nah, that ain't what I do right there.
See the evolution? You could say it's the Kevin Samuels effect. You could say it's the effect of living in the modern environment. You could call it whatever you want to call it. But men have evolved. And it's not the men that are the beggars anymore.
What do you wish someone had told you about dating like in your 40s and 50s back then?
You know, you think that when you're ready to settle down that there's always going to be a lot of supply on the shelves. And it's not. Like at this age, a lot of the good guys are married or taken because they're good guys. And I was having a conversation with a girlfriend of mine the other day, and I'm like, well, your best bet now is maybe someone that a good man that maybe is coming out of a marriage, getting a divorce. So, you know, I think in our youth, and I would like people to know this when they're younger, we think, oh, there's always going to be an endless supply. I can wait till tomorrow. Don't put off your happiness waiting. You know, if you find that good person, like a lot of times we wait, well, it's not the right time. It's never going to be like the right time. I would say go for it more. I wish I would have told someone told me just go for it. I probably have overlooked a good candidate before, you know, like maybe,
why is that though?
Me thinking the timing thing, maybe prioritizing career. You know, I definitely was always like work. I never thought I had enough cushion built up to like relax and take my foot off the gas and start a family.
To the naked eye, one might not think that there's very much here. This is a woman who's lamenting the fact that a guy in particular that she probably should have married, she didn't marry because she's saying she was too busy with her career, but maybe it's just that she didn't want to settle down, and now she's looking around and saying all the good guys are gone and the only guys that are worth being with have to get divorced first before she'd consider maybe getting with those guys. But if you look a little bit deeper, this is a very rare admission that she made a mistake in her younger years. It's not begging by traditional means because she's not really on her knees, baby, please, please, please. But we don't really see that very much in our community from women to men. So in a way, this is a new form of quote unquote begging that is really just the tip of the iceberg. And then if you pay attention to the clothing she's wearing, her appearance, her demeanor, she's appealing to men. Make no mistake about it.
And then that just go on and on and on, and then you be 100 years old and you like, it's still working.
Still working. And I think, I will say specifically with Black women especially, I feel like we don't really have the luxury to think that we can kind of take time off like that. You know, and I specifically say Black women because like we're usually the backbone of everything. You know, not even just with our families, but with our friend circles. Like it's always something for us to do. We're always taking care of somebody else. I don't have children, but I'm always like feeding a friend or taking care of someone or helping somebody out or doing a favor. And I think that's a cape that we put on ourselves. No one told us to do this. It's just something in us that we do. And if you think about the Black woman in your life, you probably think, damn, she's like a superwoman for everybody else. When does she slow down for herself?
A simple rhetorical question is, in order for all of these young ladies that are doing all of this bending over backwards and sacrificing of themselves for the people around them, as men that may have dated these young ladies, do you feel regularly that these women are doing everything for the people around them, and more specifically you when you're dating them? Because a quick purview of social media is people having their handouts and saying that men should be doing all the sacrificing. But here we're hearing an argument that women are doing all the sacrificing. Something doesn't match, does it?
I think with Black women specifically, it's harder for us to ever feel like we can just kind of take a break. We have to be like all gas, no brakes. I don't think we have the luxury of feeling like, okay, I can take a breather now and relax. And I think it's really sad. You know, there's all these statistics about 45%, 65% of Black women will never get married, you know, and we're out here taking care of everybody else and not getting taken care of. And I think it's really sad. I think we self-impose this cape on ourselves to save the world. Look at all the marches. Look at all, I know this is dating, but I got to bring it into like the political space. We're always at the front lines for everybody else. For everybody. brother gets killed, we're in the front lines. The LGBTQ community, we're in the front lines. Other women that are not even showing that up as our allies, we're in the front lines. Gaza, front line. We're always there for everybody else. And on top of all the stuff in our personal lives, we out here trying to save the world. When does that leave time to like really feel comfortable? When does that really leave time to like relax and or even just like put yourself first or dating? And I just feel like a lot of women get caught up in saving the world and then they leave little time for themselves.
This video might possibly be just IBMOR's most important video, maybe even his best video, depending on who you ask. And what he's essentially saying is that the opposite of what we're seeing with Claudia Jordan, where she's saying we're carrying all of this burden and we're looking for someone that cares about this burden we're carrying, is happening to us as men. We carry the burden and we don't value the burdens that we carry. And so you hear the Chris Rock joke about what do I get in the divorce, or the idea that you can let some woman live with you and let her stack her money because you're being a man by paying all the bills. That is the kind of default that we've assumed as black men, what we should do. And on the other end, you're hearing the beginning of an appeal from women to say, we need someone to come in and help us because we're carrying all of this burden. It's a very interesting dichotomy because we as men, black men particularly, have to be reminded of how important what we bring to the table really is. Mr. IBMOR?
But a woman that wants my ongoing time and attention, she's got to give me something for it. She has to reciprocate and make herself interesting to the point where I'm willing to share my time and attention or give it away freely, or she got to pay me. She's got to do things for me. She's got to feed me. She's got to take me out. She's got to pay for my dinner, or she's got to lay on her back, or she got to bend herself over. That's just me. I've always been that way. Now, I've been called cheap. I've been called arrogant. I do not date women that I don't sleep with. That's just me. Now, if you are a friend of mine and we have a mutual interest, so I'm interested in what you're interested in and vice versa. You're entertaining me. I will share my time and attention. I'm getting something for it. Stop giving away your non-sexual time and attention, your non-sexual companionship for free.
That is a lesson that is very important for many men to understand, and it might possibly be why we're in the situation we're in right now. What we're seeing with Claudia Jordan is that maybe some men, maybe more men than she is ready to admit, have stopped giving her that free attention and time and energy. And her very mild appeal, at least to the naked eye, is one of, where are you guys at? I'm asking, if not begging you to come back. But this is one thing we can be sure of in 2026. It's going to get more desperate than what we saw at Claudia Jordan. That was a very mild, very sophisticated appeal for men and male attention. She has on the dress. You can see how she's looking. You can see the way she's talking. And even the appeal that black women are denying ourselves to help everyone else. And I'm not exactly sure why you're helping the LGBTQ and everybody else when you could just choose a man when you're 25, 26, be happy with him, have some kids with him, and have a family. But for whatever reason, giving up your 20s and your early 30s to a marriage is considered slavery, and you're giving up unpaid labor. And so guys are looking at what happens when those marriages fall apart, and we have plenty of evidence to see who pays the highest price. So here we are entering 2026, and men are pulling back, and women are starting to beg. Only the begging has just started. 2026 might be the beg-pocalypse that we've never seen before. Thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, comment below. I'll catch you next video. Take care.